why not for once hop onto the bandwagon? Because I am such an anti bandwagon type of girl. Hey y'all, my name is Mone't. Welcome back to the Dress Your Identity channel where we understand our assignments and dress accordingly. So today we are talking all things Make 9. If you're new to this whole Make 9 challenge like me, let me briefly explain. For the sewists or people that are learning to sew, the Make 9 challenge is essentially a challenge where you pick out the 9 things that is non-negotiable, but you are going to create that year. Just 9 things. Honestly, I'm not even sure who started it, but I just now getting back into the sewing community after a little bit of a hiatus, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, and maybe this will help me stay accountable throughout the year. And so I thought, why not for once hop onto the bandwagon? Because I am such an anti-bandwagon type of girl. But here we are. Okay, so my Make 9 for 2024. Let me preface this by saying it's going to be a little bit different. I've watched a few videos and I've seen where the sewists would have, like, tops and pants and this and that. And then they also have patterns for each of the things that they want to make, and they share the patterns. Well, I don't really use patterns like that, okay? Let me explain. I am a self-taught sewist, and I taught myself how to sew by deconstructing clothes and studying the pattern pieces, creating my own pattern, and making the clothes that I wanted to make. So I didn't start off with using commercial patterns, and I think maybe that's why it's not necessarily my go-to when it comes to making something, like going straight to using a commercial pattern. However, I'm not against it. In fact, that's one of the things that I would like to do this year, is to get back into using commercial patterns, indie patterns, and just kind of seeing what's out there. I also plan on creating some patterns and making them available for you guys, but we'll get to that later in the video. I'm saying that to say, I go through my Make 9. I will not have patterns for everything. And some of this stuff is more upcycle, thrift flip, DIY, some of it, and some of it is like I'll be making it from scratch with fabric. But nonetheless, here we are. Okay, this is in no particular order. I'm just gonna go down the list of my 9 things. Okay, number 1 on the list is unique denim. Okay, so denim has been all the craze forever, and it will forever be all the craze. And I need a good pair of denim pants. Like, I just need one good pair of simple, sleek jeans that fit me perfect. I'm not gonna make them though. I will not. I don't know if I have the passion for that. I'm a very passionate sewer. I'm the type of person that, like, I need to be into it to want to sew it. Like, I just can't sew things just to sew them. Some things I don't feel like is worth me sewing. And jeans is that. I feel like I can find a nice pair of fitted jeans on the market, and after really putting some effort into it, if I cannot find any, then I'll find a pair that's closely fitted and alter it. So I am on the hunt for the perfect pair of jeans. However, unique denim, I would love to have some jeans, denim pants, denim skirts, denim jackets, that are unique and different and not what you're used to seeing. I'm all about a statement piece. I'm all about wearing and making garments that clearly no one else has. Clearly somebody custom made that, and it doesn't necessarily look homemade or crafty. It looks very artistic, like wearable art. I love wearable art. I am into it. And so when I say unique jeans, I mean finding a way to make the denim that I have, or purchase denim from a thrift store and unique, make it different, make it something new, but then something that is still classy enough that it can stay in my wardrobe forever. Anytime I pull it out, anytime I wear it, it's always going to be a conversation starter. That's the type of wardrobe I like to have. Now, for my basic stuff, we just go purchase some of the basic stuff. But the goal is to have a 80% me-made wardrobe. Again, we'll talk about that at the end. Number 2, I want to learn and get into sewing bags and purses. I think I may have sewn like a tote bag years ago. But aside of that, I've never really sewn an actual purse or like a structured bag or something that I could use on a day-to-day basis. I even promised my husband a backpack years ago, and that never happened. And so this year, I really want to delve into sewing some bags and purses. Again, statement pieces, unique things, maybe some classic style bags with nice fabrics, whatever the case may be. I want to try it out. 2024, we're trying it out this year. So that's going to be the second thing on my Make 9, a bag or a purse or multiple bags and purses. Next thing on my Make 9, a utility romper or jumpsuit. Now, there is a pattern that I saw for this. And when I find it, I'm going to put it up somewhere. And that pattern, I've actually watched a few people make this jumpsuit, and I was like, oh, that is so cute. Like, I love that. And cut it into some shorts. I'm here for it. And so I want to try that out. This is a project that I will be using a pattern for. Last summer, I had an outfit planned for this with these nice, chunky, like Celine dad sandals. It was such a cute look, but I wasn't able to make this outfit or find something that I liked on the market. I will say jumpsuits and rompers are like tricky for me because of my body type. It never really fits me the way that I want it to fit me. So it's either you make it yourself or you buy one and do a bajillion alterations. I think I'm gonna try to make it myself and perfect the pattern so that I have it forever. All right, next up, for the fall and winter of this year, I want to DIY a coat and or make a coat dress combination. Okay, the DIY a coat. I have seen some coats on Pinterest because Pinterest is my best friend, my best creative friend. And I've seen some coats on Pinterest that I love. And I'm like, I could make it from scratch, right? But why not thrift a coat and paint it or embroider it or just add some zhuzh to it and make it your own? And so I don't know why I've had a hankering for the past couple of years to paint a coat. I actually tried to commission an artist one time to paint a mural on the back of a wool coat, and I don't think she was ready for the project, but I'm just gonna try my hand. Okay, so this year I want to paint a coat that I thrift. And then I've seen these coat dress combinations, and I think they are so freaking cute. Like, imagine a nice, beautiful coat and a dress to match. Baby, she bad. I want one. I would love. Now, this coat I will be making from scratch, obviously, because, we would need the same fabric for the coat and the dress. And where are you really going to find that unless I go to a designer who's going to charge you $1 bajillion when I could just do it myself? So I will be making this coat from scratch, and I will be making a dress. It probably won't be a mini dress. And if it is, I don't know, we'll see. But these are just some examples of what I saw and what sparked this inspiration behind the coat dress combo. All right, next up. This is something I'm actually going to be sewing soon. A birthday dress or two. Okay, so I found these two dresses and I was like, you know what? That would be a cute birthday dress for me. Every single year, I design and have ambition to make a birthday dress. Last year, I started making it, but I started it kind of late. And that seems to be my problem. I start projects too late. It's like the last minute situation always. And, one day I'll tell you a little bit more about my life and why I don't necessarily have the luxury of time to sew as much as I would love to. However, I could be more proactive in starting some of these projects prior to the day of. And so last year I started creating this birthday dress and it didn't get finished. I cut everything. I made a corset. The corset was primarily finished. I was working on the skirt portion of the dress and ran out of time. So I end up still having to go to Nordstrom and find a dress and throw it on so I could attend my own birthday dinner. This year, I really would love to be able to make my dress. And I'm actually going to be proactive and I'm going to make a dress. And I have two dresses that is inspiration, dresses that I think are beautiful and will be very simple for me to draft up the pattern and make this dress. So that's what I'm going to do. I have no idea how much they cost. I have no idea who the designers are. I just like the dress and I know I can make it myself. All right. Next up is something sheer. Okay, so sheer has been a thing. And I have a love-hate relationship with sheer. I think it could be done beautifully. I love some people's interpretation on wearing sheer, whether it's a sheer top or a skirt, lace pants, which lace is still sheer. You can see through it. However, I am not the type of girl that is going to, I want to be comfortable showing my undergarments, right? Like a sheer skirt, but with like panties or brief panties underneath. I'm not that type of girl. Also, I think it's weird when you have like the sheer pants and the shorts. I don't really like that. Or even like the sheer long skirt with a mini skirt underneath. I don't know. I don't know why. And I've actually done that, but it's kind of tacky. And so I have this sheer, it was a dress, and it had this blue organza, taffeta organza. I would say it was an organza type of fabric at the bottom. It's like a poofy, ruffle sheer dress. And I actually sewed a like mini pencil skirt inside, and I wore this years ago. And I wore it with some boots, some thigh-high boots, and a cropped hoodie. It was a look, okay? It was a look. And guess where I went? To the movies. My husband took me to the movies, and I had on this big old poofy skirt, a hoodie, and some thigh-high boots. Listen. But would I wear it now? No. That skirt has been sitting in my closet since. And I'm telling you, I think I made and wore that maybe about 5 years ago. But maybe it's time to pull it out and just do something a little bit different. And so the sheer skirts have been all over the runway. And not that, we're trying to follow a trend or do what they do, but some I like. And this I like. I think I'm going to try it again. I may pull out that blue skirt and see if I can do something with it. I also have some green, like sheer fabric that I've had quite a bit of. I was going to send it down the runway at one point and then end up scrapping it. So I still have plenty of it. So I would love to do something with that as well. But something sheer, a sheer top. I have that other sheer fabric too that I can't find, but I haven't done anything with. I need to find that. That would be cute as a top. Anyways, something sheer. Next on the list, oh y'all, I'm looking at my index card. Don't judge me. Next on the list are summer dresses. Summer dresses. Okay, summertime, when it's hot, I turn into this different type of girl, okay? I would like to say that my style of dressing is very classic, but very unique. A bit of the cool girl type of look, I'm always wearing sneakers with things. I like to wear hats with things. But I love pieces that like will last forever, transcend time, and can stay in your wardrobe and it'd be very classy and feminine. And so when the summertime hits, it's either dress, like straight up just put on a sundress. Last year I had this like baby doll type dress. My husband and I were away for the weekend and we wanted to go somewhere, but I didn't have anything to wear for that occasion. And so I quickly ran to the nearest like Macy's, I think it was, and I found this dress. And the dress was so freaking cute. It's not something I would have ever picked, But when I tried it on, I fell in love with it. And let me tell you, I have worn that dress so many times. I have worn it with sneakers, different types of sneakers. I have worn it with paper boy hats. I have worn it with baseball caps. I have worn this dress. I have worn this dress. I think I've washed it so many times that the black is fading a little bit. And so I would love to have some different renditions of that. I love the fact that the cotton fabric was very lightweight and breathable. It was easy breezy. It was one of those things you could just quickly throw on and go and look like something. And that's my jizz for the summertime. And so I would love to be able to make myself a few dresses that I can just throw on for any occasion and go. So that is on my Make 9. Next up are hats. I love hats, and I love different and unique hats. And I think I'm going to venture off and support some other up and coming designers and other hat makers, because some of these hats I will not try my hand on. However, there are some hats that I just want to try to make. And I've never really done it. Some I know I can do, like a beret, but the paperboy hat became very popular this past like year or two. And I actually have one that I thrifted. It's like a blue velvet and I absolutely love it. But I would love to have a classy one I can put in my, keep in my wardrobe. Could I go buy this? Absolutely. You could buy this from just about everywhere, but that's not the point. The point is, I want to try to make it for myself. And when I make it, I can do something to it to make it me. And everybody say, oh, wow, that's a beautiful hat. And I say, thank you. I made it. I could teach you how to do one too. Or I have a pattern. Here it is. Anyways, I enjoy wearing things that I make, if you haven't noticed. Some of the things that I make, it's not that you can't go purchase it, but I'd rather make it. I'll have a good quality and I know the fit will be perfect. So anyways, hats. This is something that I want to try to dabble into this year. I have never tried making a hat. And so, yeah, we'll see. And last but not least, the last thing on my Make 9 for 2024 is not necessarily a garment or accessory, but more of a technique, and that is fabric manipulation. Okay, remember how I told you that I love statement pieces and I love like wearable art and I love to look a little different? You know, I think that when you start to learn some of these techniques, how to manipulate fabric to achieve certain looks, that's just like the little details that'll take that piece from 20 to 20,000. And so I want to start playing around, just, you know, taking a minute and being creative and playing around with some different techniques, learning some new things and thinking about how I can incorporate them into some of my basic pieces. You know, right now on the runways, flowers, floral is really, really big. You see big old fabric roses all over garments. And so that's like a perfect example of fabric manipulation, like taking some fabric and creating a rose out of it. And I've actually seen it done with a couple of different techniques. And I was like, you know, I really want to try working on some different things, and just take my pieces up a notch, just make it that much more unique. So there you have it, my Make 9 for 2024. Also, I have a few goals, some that I've already told you, but a few goals for 2024. Number one is to start using patterns, commercial patterns, indie patterns, patterns that someone else drafted and I didn't draft. I think that even though I love drafting my own patterns because I know what I want, I know what I'm looking for, and it's like a lot of times when I want to make something, there's not a pattern for it. And if there is, I'm still going to have to modify the pattern to make what I want to make. So why not just make the pattern yourself? I guess that's my logic. But there are some patterns out there that are really freaking cute. And so I want to try them out. And shout out to all of sewists out there that are using patterns, that are showing your work, that are online sewing, because you guys are the reason why I want to start using patterns. I had no interest, none, of using commercial patterns, but I figure maybe it would be good. Maybe I'll learn some things along the process. And so I plan to give it a try this year. Another thing, I would love my wardrobe to be, I would say, about 80% me made, minimum 80%. Um, Again, I just think it's something so special about wearing garments that I personally made. And for me to be a fashion designer, for me to be a stylist and have styled and designed things for so many people and even sent things down the runway, it almost feels hypocritical of me not to be wearing things that I designed and I made. Um, I do like sewing and constructing garments, but I don't love it. I think I love designing more than I love constructing garments. So eventually, I would love to be able to just hone in on designing and have somebody else to construct it, or work along with someone else, like have some help. I think I will be cranking out looks when I get there. But in the meantime, just working on my own personal wardrobe, one piece at a time, putting my hands to the things that I desire to, that I have a passion for, and creating. I would love to have most of my wardrobe things that I made. Okay, another goal. I want to draft some more patterns for you guys. You've heard me say this a bajillion times in this video. I draft patterns. I draft patterns for myself. But I would love to draft some patterns and make them available for the public, for anybody that would love to enjoy making that garment. I've been doing it for such a long time. I'm not going to say I'm an expert by any means. I'm completely self-taught and even drafting patterns. However, I have a pretty good understanding of it, and mostly everything that I've made, I've drafted the pattern to. And so I know a lot of techniques. I understand the order of operations. I can pretty much put instructions together well, which I think was the scariest part of me making patterns available. Is just making sure the instructions and directions are detailed enough so that someone else can follow it. Because obviously, if I'm drafting it, I know what I'm doing. But I would love to be able to make some patterns available for the community. I have so many beautiful designs from very, 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 very beginner level to a little more advanced that I would love to make available for you. That's something that I am thoroughly going to work on in 2024. So listen, like this video, subscribe to this channel, stay tuned, watch around, and look for the patterns that's going to be coming soon. Look for some of the pieces that I've designed soon. This is an upcycle that I have on, and I would love to show you my skirt, but I don't have a waistband on it. But the video is coming soon. All right. And for my last goal of 2024 is to keep creating and film the whole process. I know this might sound a little weird, but I did a year of runway, which I did quite a few runway shows and events that year that I had to produce collections for, and I was sewing it all myself, along with being a mom of 5, being a wife, taking care of the household and that type of deal. I also had a great deal of commission work that came, and became a little uninspired with that. Also, I don't know how, but I became this last minute sewist for people. And so I was getting a lot of clients that were last minute, I only have 2 days, but can you do this? I only have a week, but can you do this? And not everybody, because there was one person where I did it myself. Well, I mean, really, all of it I kind of did myself because I could just say no. But yeah. So I just got to a place where I was like, you know what? I am going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. And I did. I took a break. I took a year break. And within that year, I was barely creating. I was doing alterations for my family, making stuff for my kids, doing things here and there, but not really creating for myself, not really designing for myself, not really putting myself back in that element. But now that I've like immersed myself back into the sewing community, I've become more inspired. You know, I feel like I've gotten my sojo back. Like I've gotten to a place now where I'm ready to start creating. I'm ready to get back on top of consistently creating, and for me. And so 2024 is, this is the time. The time is now. Oh, one more thing. There is one more goal, and that is to be more involved in the sewing community and like network. Um, it's crazy how I've been sewing and creating things for about 10 years now, and I don't know very many people in my area. Um, in the DMV area specifically is where I am. I don't know very many people that sew. And I'm actually just now seeing a few people on YouTube that are like in Baltimore and DC. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me find out. I'm not alone. I've also found out that like within the community, there's challenges that's happening often. There's events that's happen often. There's a DC Frocktails happening next weekend that I knew nothing about, and I'm not going to be able to attend. I just found out like literally a day or two ago. And I'm like, wait, like I didn't even know this exists. And so I really want to start being more involved in the community, start networking, starting to get more, start to get to know more people that are in my area, and all over. And so that is a goal this year. I am going to start putting myself out there, introducing myself to people, letting people know what I do, encourage people when I can encourage them, teach when I can teach. I think that because I'm self-taught, a lot of times I kind of I downplay my skill set. You know, and not to sound prideful, I don't think I haven't arrived, right? However, I'm watching a lot of these women's lives and their videos, and everybody's talking about how scared they are of zippers, and they don't know how to do darts, and some things that are actually fairly simple. And there's a lot of little tips and tricks that you could use to get it right. And you know, some of these things I have a lot of experience in. So if I could lend some help and teach somebody, encourage someone, be an inspiration, then why not? You know, why not? That's who I am, and that's what I love to do. And so there you have it. My 2024 Make 9, my 2024 sewing goals for this year. I hope you enjoyed this video and I wasn't like too chitter chatty, but you'll get to know me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And most of all, don't forget that you are an absolute superhero, so you should dress like it. Bye.